that I've just made, I want to make a couple of points. First of all, it's for entertainment and educational purposes only. And that I don't take notes or anything like that or script anything. I turn the phone on and I start talking. I have mental health issues, which are complex PTSD, personality disorder, and I'm being tested for ADHD. But I'm still hanging in there and holding on to reality of what I see as reality. And doing these videos help me. And I just want to tell you from my point of view that, you know, I've been treated really badly by the British government and I've never been given an inch. I've been punished very, very hard, very severely every time I've made a mistake or done something wrong. You know, I lost my mum when I was 8 years old and didn't have anybody else and was put in the care. I was looked after by the government and really bad things happened to me my whole life. And that's why I do what I do. One, because I'm angry at the two-tier, not just with the police, but with everything, with the justice system. You know, I'm watching people going to prison for months for child abuse when I go to prison for 18 years for a bank robbery where nobody was hurt. And that's, you know, I've done videos about that, but I just want to make this clear. You know, this is just my personal opinion of how I feel, of what I see in this country. I'm not a scientist or a professor. I'm just a working class lad who's had the worst upbringing you can imagine. But there's a lot worse than me. It's had a lot worse things done to him. But I'm in that category of up there with the worst abuses that's happened to a child in this country. And I'm still watching abuses happen to the children in this country. And that's what my problem is. And see, anybody has a problem with that, whether it be the government or the police. I will fight every corner I have. And I will expose and highlight everything that's been done to me in this country by the government and the services that work for the government to keep me down. And I've got no problems with prison. You institutionalise me at 12 years old. I'm more comfortable in prison than I am outside. You know, I sleep with my bed against the wall because I'm used to sleeping on a single bed up against the wall, and it's the way I comfort myself to go to sleep. I think of being in a cell to get myself to sleep at night because that's my comfort zone, okay? Because of what was done to me, institutionalized at such a young age, you know. I've lost the first, from 12 years old to 24, all spent in institutions and prisons. So this is why I am who I am, and this is why I do what I do, and I apologise to nobody because I'm only being truthful and honest. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not lying, and I just don't tolerate bullshit. Everything comes out of my mouth is factual and truthful to my knowledge. That's all I've got to say. Enjoy the video. Guys and dolls, so it's Wednesday and it's really cold in Scotland. Really cold. It's like an ice wind coming from the north, but you're not here for a weather forecast, are you? So I was thinking, there's this group of Smurfs, right? And they run about the world causing so much trouble. They were in Russia and they unlived a load of children in a school, and they unlived a load of people in a cinema. And then, like, when this really a horrible group of countries went into the Middle East and took out the leaders, these wee Smurfs went mental, started taking over. They started unliving the wee Smurfies that were nice Smurfies, because there's nice Smurfies, but these bad Smurfies, you know, they were really, really bad, and they started doing really bad things to the really good Smurfies. And then when they got their hands on anybody that wasn't a wee Smurfy, they were doing really bad things to them as well. And then they started travelling about the world, these Smurfies. But you see, where the Smurfies are from in Smurfyland, you know, the Papa Smurfy, that's their leader, like, you know, and they all listen to the Papa Smurfy. But the good Smurfies They don't listen to the Papa Smurfy. And they pop the bad Smurfies out of their Smurfy area. So these bad Smurfies start looking for somewhere else to stay. So next thing you know, they're jumping about the place and they're in France and somebody done a cartoon of the Papa Smurfy and these bad Smurfies, and they went and they unlived everybody that was part of that company. Went in there and just unlived a lot of them. I think 5 or 6 of them. You know, 2 really angry Smurfies. You know, and then they started flooding into France and causing all sorts of havoc and not being nice to the people that were from that original area, you know. But they all listened to this Papa Smurfy guy. They all everything that he wrote down back in the day, they followed to the letter. But while they're all running about in France and Europe, the Smurfy lands where they're all from started emptying the bad Smurfies out of their jails. And they all started coming to Britain. And before you know it, these bad Smurfies are running about and they're doing loads of bad things. Like thousands of children are being abused by these Smurfies, you know, running havoc. And they all started gathering in groups in areas. And our police were scared to go in and deal with these Smurfies because the Smurfies used to chase them back out again. And the rest of us would be all looking, going, you know, we know there's good Smurfies, we know that, but these Smurfies are really bad. They keep listening to this Papa Smurfy, like to the ladder, and obviously we can see what Papa Smurfy says, and it's not good. It's not good, but they're here, and our government are saying that we've just got to get on with it, sort of thing. But you know, next thing you know, they're blowing up buses and all that in London, and there was a concert, an R.A. Gandhi concert, and done terrible things. You know, and they were just running about, these wee Smurfies, and causing so much trouble. So people started speaking up about it and going, no, I don't like these Smurfies. I don't like these Smurfies. These are bad Smurfies. But then our government started saying, you can't say that. You can't say that about these bad Smurfies. That's Smurfomania. Or Smurfophobia. We're like, Smurfophobia? What's Smurfophobia? How can you be Smurfophobia? These Smurfies are running about causing so much damage and hurting so many people and affecting so many people's lives. You know, it's not like spiders. You know, I know people are scared of spiders and all that, but you know, this is a wee bit different than like a phobia. You know, and everybody's quite confused about this Smurfophobia thing that we're not allowed. You know, and then next thing they're trying to bring it out in court. But you see, there's good Smurfies already here. Like these good Smurfies came before the bad Smurfies, and of course, like because we're such a nice country, we've started letting these Smurfies into our government, these good Smurfies, and we've let them into our government. And they've, like in Scotland, there was a really good Smurfy, was First Minister, and then there's another really good Smurfy that's been Lord Mayor in London for three terms, 12 years. So that shows you, like, you know, we didn't mind the good Smurfies, but now the good Smurfies are also going on about this Smurfophobia, and we're confused because where the good Smurfies come from, they're throwing the bad Smurfies out. They're putting them in jail and they're kicking them out and they're calling them really bad things, and they're doing what they should be doing. But yet the good Smurfies, when they're here, are saying that we can't say anything bad. Never mind do anything bad. We can't say anything bad. You know, and like now they're saying there's like this like Smurfophobia, new word that's came out, is going around government, and like Mr. Keir, he loves it. Mr. Keir Starmer, he loves that Smurfophobia, and he sat down with the good Smurfies, especially the good Smurfy in London, and the two of them have had like a wee chin wag about how do we bring this like Smurfophobia in. But there's been other people talking about Smurfophobia way before, and they were saying, oh, what will happen is these bad Smurfs are going to come over, they're going to do all this, they're going to take over, blah blah blah, and then what the government will do, they're going to come out with this word, Smurfophobia, and that's going to stop everybody from complaining. Because when you think about it, now if I complain about the bad Smurfs that are doing all these terrible bad things in my country, then I'm called a Smurfophobia, or a Smurfophobe. you know. And I don't want to be called a Smurfophobe because I don't like that word. It sounds like I'm a very hateful person, and I'm not a hateful person. I'm just worried about these bad Smurfs running about doing bad things to our children, and they just keep coming and coming and coming. And it's like our government is being controlled by the good Smurfs, and I don't know why the good Smurfs want the bad Smurfs here. It doesn't make any sense, you know. I don't know. If you can let me know why the good Smurfs and the government working together want the bad Smurfs to come in here when they're doing so many bad things. And there's already been proof that they've done bad things because they've run amok in the world. You know, and when they were in Iraq and Syria, you know, they had their own wee country, more or less. And it took like different countries to come together to continuously just put bombs and stuff into the country and to try and get rid of them, you know. Like our government was over there like unliving thousands and thousands of them. Like, you know, using like cluster bombs and all that, things that you're not meant to use, and all sorts of really bad things that they use to get rid of these bad Smurfies. And it's strange because they were over there doing all that to the bad Smurfies, but when the bad Smurfies over here doing bad things in our country to our children, as soon as we say anything about it, we're Smurfophobia. I don't know. But, you know, it's like these wee Smurfs, they don't look like us, so they do stand out. But you can't tell a good Smurf from a bad Smurf. That's a problem. That's a big problem. You know, it's just, unfortunately, you can't. You know, the bad Smurfs are very good at pretending to be good. You know what I mean? It's like they even come in and they pretend to follow our leader, that we are, you know. Like, their Papa Smurf, we've got an equivalent of that, so we do. Not everybody follows it, you know what I mean? A lot of people aren't interested in that kind of thing. But it seems to be with the Smurfies, they're all really into it. It's quite a big thing, this Papa Smurf and the writings of this Papa Smurf in this book, you know. And I just don't know what to do. It's really, I'm just so confused. I really am confused. Because we've got these really bad Smurfies coming into our country right now, and they're doing so many bad things, and everybody can see they're doing really bad things, and we can see where they're getting the ideas for these bad things, because the Papa Smurf, like I said, put it all down in a book, and they follow that book to the letter, you know. And I can't see any end to it, because all we're doing is protecting these bad Smurfs by not even allowed to say anything bad about them. You're not even allowed to say what they're doing or anything like that. Or they say you're racist. They call you a racist because they're different looking than us. So anybody that's different looking than us, that do really bad things to our children, if we say anything bad about them, then we're called a racist because they look different, you know. That confuses me. So it does. Really does confuse me. I'm really, really confused by the whole thing, the whole situation. It doesn't not make any sense, you know. So, if anybody can make any sense of this and, you know, to explain to me why these bad Smurfies are protected so much by our government, could somebody let me know? Because I am genuinely, I've never seen anybody come into this country and do such horrific crimes to our children and then be protected by our Labour government and our Tory government. Basically Westminster and the Lords, you know. And not only that, the good Smurfies are like making sure that we can't say anything bad about them by saying, but we're Smurfies too. So if you say something about the bad Smurfies, then that's going to affect me as a good Smurfie, you know. Because it's true, it's difficult to tell the difference, you know. It really is. I don't know. It's sad. But I do think that we're going to sort these Smurfies out one day. I do believe that. Because I do believe that the people will rise up and say, enough is enough, Smurfies. It's time to go back to Smurfland. You know, there's only one, you know, there's only so many children. There's only so many. I don't know if it will go into the tens of thousands or the hundreds of thousands of children that are going to be affected. I think we're definitely hitting the tens of thousands right now of children in this country that's being abused by these Smurfies. No doubt about it, 100%. you know. You're talking over 1,000 in one city, you know, and that's just the ones we know about. That's just the ones that we know about. How many of these Smurfies have done things to children and hasn't even been reported, you know? Yeah, you know, it's like, we're giving them like shelter, and we're feeding them, and we're giving them wee cards so they don't go hungry, and they've got plenty of food and drink and smokes and wee electric bikes so they can get a wee job, you know, delivering food to our houses. And another thing we do as well is like, we give them taxi licenses so they can drive our kids to school. We're really good, aren't we? We're a really good nation, us. But I think one day we're definitely going to work it all out. I really do, like, because I think this is a really great nation with really great, fine men and women. You know, good, fine men and women. And we're at a wee sticking point because of this Smurfophobia. You know, this Smurfophobia that we're getting put down with, and, you know, being silenced with, and, you know, how dare you saying about these bad Smurfs, you know. Yeah, that's where we're at right now, guys. You know, it's a wee bit of satire, so it is, you know, but you know where I'm coming from, you know. And I'm not scared to say the words and all that. I'm just trying to show people in a different way how ridiculous this all sounds. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to do it in a way where we can look at something like a wee Smurf and just change everything around, and then just that highlights how ridiculous and how dangerous and how traitorous our government are. That's a big one. How traitorous. You know, criminal, absolutely criminal. You know, there's blood in their hands. So there is. There's blood in their hands. There's no doubt about it. There's not another country in the world, apart from Biden's government, that would allow this to happen. Would allow a government to come to do this to their people. Because let's be honest, the buck stops at the government. It's the government that can do this, control this. Other countries around the world are making sure they don't have any problems with these blue Smurfies. Making sure they're turning the boats around, they're, you know, sending them back, you know what I mean? These are, you know, countries, big countries, you know what I mean? And then you got like Poland and not one single terrorist crime, you know, because they don't entertain, you know what I mean? Because like I say, good Smurfs and bad Smurfs, it's hard to tell the difference, and they pretend to be good. And then all of a sudden they become bad. Ha ha! Surprise! You know. And they're running a country by then, you know. And then the next thing they're bringing their wee Smurfy laws in. And our women are going to have to change the way they walk about and move and live, you know. And, scary. Absolutely scary. But that's what society is like. 110%. And everybody's skirting about the issue, you know. But let's be honest, there's only one direction this country's going in, with Labour in charge. Until we get working class guys in the Parliament. I mean, this is the way it is. These schoolboys, these Eton schoolboys and private schoolboys haven't got the ganulas down there. They don't. Trust me, you've seen Keir Starmer punching a punch bag. See, I know wee girls can punch better than him, and that's nowhere to allow. I'll video them and show you 10-year-old girls that can punch a punch bag better than our Prime Minister. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing. That's, you know, it really is embarrassing. We need men. We need men. Good men and women. Good, strong men and women that's been born and bred and went through the turmoils and experience of living in working class areas to run this country. And I do believe that the people will remove these schoolboys, these posh boys, these guys that haven't experienced anything at all apart from caviar and silver-plated spoons. That's all they've experienced in their lives. They don't know anything about hardships. They don't know what it's like to be for us on these streets here. You know, because it's not their areas these blue Smurfies are going to. It's in our areas they're going to. It's our children that are suffering. It's our men that are going to jail, you know. You like the two guys that went to get their kids out of that horrible house where they were with the adult Smurfies that came into this country. Them two fathers were arrested, you know. That's what's going on in this country, guys. All over it. All over it. And enough is enough. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting comical. It's becoming a joke. We are becoming a joke around the world right now. We really are. And unfortunately, it's not funny for us. Maybe everybody else is laughing at the state of Britain right now, but the people inside it that are suffering are not laughing. There's too many tears being shed in this country. Too many mothers are weeping. Too many fathers are weeping. You know, drug addiction, alcoholism, no mental health, no doctors. You know, we are suffering, and it's time we did all say these three words: enough is enough.